Right. Hello everyone. It's been a while since I'm on camera. I'm Hector and I'm just gonna show you in real time how I frost a 2-layer cake. First of all, you need to hydrate yourself. I will try not to cut any portions out of this video so you know how long it basically takes to do this. Okay, so we're gonna compose the cake for the chocolate tomato cake with Mr. Ganache, page 87 from Rose's Heavenly Cakes. Here I have the ganache that I made 2 days ago. Actually, I prefer to make my ganache at least the night before, so it will cool and set as slowly as possible. As explained, the slower the ganache sets, the more stable it will be. Okay. I always keep anything chocolate, especially frostings or ganache, in a plastic container because a metal bowl, for example, will impart a metallic flavor. Okay. So, another hint that I like to share is before I put my plastic lid on my Tupperware, I put a piece of stretch tight. This keeps my lids clean and prevents any leakage, and it also gives me an extra piece of plastic surface to protect my countertop. Stretch tight right here, it's the best. Okay. Let's see, this ganache was made 2 days ago and it's been sitting at room temperature. My room right now is, what temperature is it here? My kitchen is 81 degrees. Okay, so 81, 82. I would say this is a really nice ganache frosting consistency. There you go. So let's put this on the side. My cakes are heart-shaped. The first thing you do is cut a piece of cardboard the same size of the cake pan. There's the cardboard. And put a little bit of ganache. I'll just call it frosting to make this video more generic. Put just a little bit on the bottom so the cake will stick. You place the cardboard on top of one cake, one layer, and then you flip it. My chocolate layer cakes has been sitting in the refrigerator for 1 day, so they're quite firm. Otherwise, you won't be able to apply the pressure, and you need to be more careful. There's my first layer. Okay. And as you can see, if you cut your cardboard exactly the same size as your cake pan, you have a perfect 1/4 inch extra cardboard bigger than the cake, which should be how thick your frosting will be on the sides. I don't know if you can tell, but this little white rim here will be covered with frosting. Okay, so center your cake. Now you apply, it says on the book, apply 1 cup of frosting on 1 layer. Let me see. Compose cake, 1 cup of ganache over the layer. Okay. I always prefer to measure by weight, but cups also work. So more or less 1 cup. There you go. To prevent crumbs from lifting up, you'll see that I never do this action. I never spread and lift, because that will cause the crumb of the cake to lift up. If you need to lift, you do it this way. You know, you keep going up, and you will lift on a horizontal motion, not vertically up. So never do this, but instead, if you need to lift, you just continue on and lift this way in a horizontal manner. It's a little hard to explain. You notice that I never lift my icing spatula vertically up. I always continue the horizontal motion and gradually lift up. Okay, this is a heart-shaped cake. For some, I'm just in the season of making heart cakes. But indeed, heart cakes are slightly harder to frost. A turntable always helps. I will add a little bit more than 1 cup. There you go. Believe me, all you need is to do this several times, frosting, and you get better with time. There's really no special technique. There's nothing to learn here. The more you do it, the better you get out of it. Okay, the only tip that I'm sharing with you to prevent lifting the crumbs of the cake up and damage your frosting is to never lift up the spatula vertically, but always just go with the flow horizontal. In this case, because it's chocolate on chocolate, you won't be able to tell when there are any brown crumbs in it. I forgot to do something here, which is put my silicone mat on my counter, if I can find it here. I'm using cloth now on my dining table, actually. And there's my now famous silicone mat to just protect, keep things cleaner. Okay. So there you go. You have the 1 layer with about 1 cup of frosting on the top. Now it goes to the second layer. You may have noticed that I just happened to cool my cakes on top of a sheet pan and cover it with the, after I mold the cake, I put the cake pan back on it after it cools. So I don't have to, just to keep it airtight. It's very important to keep your cake in the fridge airtight. So I just use the same pan upside down after it has completely cooled, and apply a little bit of pressure on it so the seal would be tight. Or you can shrink wrap it a little bit more. Okay, now how do I transfer this cake on top of this one? Gosh, I guess you just have to slide it on top. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, I think that's all you need to do. There's an extra uneven rim here on the top. You can just cut it, trim it off. I think this happened because I baked my cake too long, perhaps an extra 5 minutes.